Hello, Ron Briggs, Blackmore Vale Honey, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to what is a beautiful morning. So we're on the 15th of September, and the project is moving on. We've got a really nice day today, and we're going to be looking at getting the rest of the utilities in. So the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that we've still not finished all the battening, which is the previous video, and the reason for that is there's such a small amount to do on there. I can do that when I've got a couple of hours to spare. I can do that on a day that might have showers. I can do it between the showers, but I did want a full dry day to do the utilities, so that's why we're switching that up and getting on with that today. So if you remember back from the previous videos, I think actually right back to one, you'll remember that we've got the water in already. We were quite fortunate. We had a water point that's in, and that's sorted, and that's inside. And you'll also remember from previous ones that we did get the outlet in for the waste, so we know exactly where the waste has got to come. It's got to come down to there into a hopper, which is over there. So we need to get waste in today, and we need to get electricity in today. Now, what I will say is electricity is nasty. It will kill you. So please seek professional advice. Get someone in to do it for you. I've got experience with electricity, although all my qualifications and certificates are all well out of date. But fortunately for me, future son-in-law, daughter's fiance, is an electrician. So I'm under his guidance, going to be laying all the cables and putting all the boxes in, but he's the one that's actually going to come and join it all up, wire it all in, and switch the power on and test it and make sure it's all good. But we have got the armoured cable to get in as well today, which I'll show you as we go. So I think we'll start with the waste, and we'll let's have a little look and see what we got to do with that. Now, I'm quite lucky when it comes to the waste. I haven't got that far to go. So my property doesn't have mainline sewerage. We have septic tanks, or cesspits, or whatever you want to call them, and we've got two on this property. One underneath the bird bath there, and one there, and they're joined. There's a second one put in later in life when the building was extended, but that they're connected. And then over here is where the pipes from the property come into, and then there's one pipe goes from there into the pits. I know from previous jobs I've done, there's a pipe runs from there into the house there. There's a pipe runs across and into that part of the house, and there's also a pipe that comes from the outside toilet, and I roughly know where that goes because I put it in. So that comes down to about, well, you see where the string line is, that's about right. And actually I made sure I put the measured this when we dug the concrete there and put the concrete steps in. We came across the pipe, so I made a note of where the actual pipe runs. So it runs from that stink pipe there, and it runs all the way down, and then round about here somewhere it branches off into there. So I need to tee into this. Now I'm hoping that the cesspit is deep enough that I can run that pipe in and I don't catch it, because I know that that's the access panel, but I don't know just quite how big the cesspit is. So I'm hoping that we don't catch that. Otherwise I'll have to run along the building and put another join in to come down. But at the moment, if it works, it should be relatively simple. So we're going to break in. First thing we're going to do is expose the pipe about here, because this is roughly where we're going to break in. Then I can work out exactly where this pipe's got to go, and we can get that fitted, and then that'll go onto the gully trap. So the gully trap is going to sit, there'll be a right angle come down there. The gully trap needs to sit underneath that, and also to the side about there, because I'm going to have another one that comes in from the sinks from the waste. So that's got to sit there. In terms of depth, the plan is we're going to run a path along here, and I'm going to use concrete gravel boards for the edge of the path, this edge. So the path's going to roughly come halfway up halfway up the base there. So I can get that'll be the rough height that I need to put that that gully trap in. So that's where we are there. I'm fortunate enough, if you remember from the first build, how high we were this end out of the ground and how low it was the other end, because we've got a run that runs down the way. So the actual run from there to there is plenty enough to take the water away. Can't remember exactly what it's supposed to be, but it's here is more than enough, so I'm quite fortunate there. So the first thing to do will be to dig that up and expose the pipe. So no need for the gym today. We're getting the garden work out with the digging that we're going to be doing. Right, so there's the pipe. We've exposed it, and we were pretty much spot on where we said. It was just a bit further to the left, so I've had to expose that. But fortunately, it was on the left-hand side, so I've not wasted what I have dug out, because that's where we've got to put the pipe in. So the next step, before I actually put anything in that pipe, I break into it, cut into it, I just need to make sure that the trench that pipe's going into is right, because like I said, I'm a bit concerned about how deep the actual cesspit is and whether I can get it deep enough, and I might have to run along the edge and in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig there first, right in the centre, to make sure I can get the depth, and then if I can, then we'll dig the whole trench to put the pipe in. So that's the next part of the project. So we've exposed the edge of this where the pipe's going to run, and I'm confident I can get deep enough. So that's just the access. So I think the actual septic tank is much deeper, so we can run over the top of it, which is fine. But as always with these older properties, when you start digging, you don't know what you're going to find. So in there is some old wriggly tin right across where I'm going to need to dig, so we're going to need to get that cut out as well. Hopefully it'll be rusty enough that the shovel will go straight through it, but if not, we'll have to get the angle grinder out. Just one more task. But I'm happy that we're missing that septic tank, so now all I've got to do is dig the rest of the channel. Now, point to note, whenever you do digging any holes, the spoil that comes out the hole will end up being 50% generally more than what's actually in there by the time the air gets added to it and it opens up. So you need to think about where you're going to put your waste, because there will be some of it. And as a rough rule of thumb, say think 50%. So if you were to take 1 ton of soil out the ground, you're looking for somewhere to dispose of 1.5 tons. Now obviously a lot of that's going to go back in the ground, and I will leave it proud because it will settle down in the fullness of time. But obviously there's a pipe going in there which is going to take up volume as well, so there will be plenty of spoil. So, but all I'm going to do to start with, lay out some sheet all the way along the edge there. I'll put the turfs on the right hand side as you look at it now, the spoil on the left hand side. We'll get the pipe in and backfill and see how it goes. So we're kind of getting there. We're from there, well, we're over halfway now. However, you'll notice that there's water in the bottom there because we struck a pipe, which confused me because I thought that was my live pipe. So I thought I'd got it. So I thought the live pipe was going that way across to where it joins. So that one probably wriggles and actually then goes down there. So we've struck that pipe, So two things going on there. One, thank God for Screwfix, because they're open on a Sunday. And two, whenever I do any plumbing work, I always start first thing in the morning. No point starting late in the afternoon, because what'll happen there is that you'll hit a pipe and then you'll have no means to sort yourself out until the following day. So we've got to sort that pipe out. At the same time, I'm gonna fix a leaking tap that we've got, an outside tap. So I'll whack a tap washer on that at the same time. Yeah, because we might as well do them both whilst the water's off. So that's that. So she who must be obeyed has been dispatched to Screwfix to pick the parts up. So we'll carry on digging whilst we wait. So we got that repaired. Water's back on, not leaking, which is good. We couldn't do the outside tap, because I picked up the wrong size washer. So we'll have to do that later or another day, because water's back on now. But whilst I was waiting, I was digging more. We found a whole load of lube pipes. So I think I understand what's going on now. So the grey pipe is the old pipe that comes from the house, yeah, which comes in as a join here, which joins to the white. So the white goes into the workshop there, and then the white also there. So under here there's a T, so it comes around there, T's into there, and I reckon the reason this was like this, not in properly all the way around, is because there was a load of old concrete in there. Big concrete blocks come out. So looks like I might have to just chisel out a bit of concrete there. There's also looks like an old pipe, an old armoured cable, no idea what that does, but we'll dig around that and come out. And also we've still got to get that Wrigley tin out. So quite a bit more digging yet. So yeah, we'll crack on with that. Right, so we're not a million miles away now. I think the trench is just about low enough, and I think I might get away with not having to cut that Wrigley tin out, but we'll see. What we'll do, we'll dry lay the pipe when it comes to it, and see how we get on. So turn our attention back to here now. We've cleared all the way around it. So now how do we actually break in and join it? So if we put that down next to it, right, so the pipe needs to come all the way down to here, to this part. Right, so I measure that, I hold the pipe where it needs to be, and then can you see I've just drawn the pencil line there of where that cut needs to be, and then I've also then got a cut down here at the bottom end of that, and then remove this piece of pipe here between the two pencil marks. Then this piece will sit on over here. So once we'll put it on, we'll slide it down here, and then once the other piece in, we can slide it up and join the two together. So that's the theory. Let's see if it works. Okay, so what we've had to do here is you've on these connection joints you get two lugs inside which joins it exactly half and half. Well, because we need to push that all the way back and then slide it forward, we've had to cut those out. And another top tip, washing up liquid makes your pipes nice and slippery. And there we have it. Now we've just got to just dry fit in just to make sure it all works. Now the difficult part comes of putting all the rubber gaskets back in, which are nice and easy to do, but it takes a bit longer to push in. So we'll get on and do that. So we're all good. We've managed to all the pipe works in, all with the proper seals on it. That's good. So I'm gonna still just need to sort the end out, straighten up a bit, so then I'll get some soil in there. So now we're on to cable, armoured cable. So in there is where the consumer unit is. So we're going to go follow the wall round, come down the wall, and then we've come out the bottom there with the cable. You can see that, and then I've just cleared the stones where the run's going to go, and then we will go into the you're not supposed to, but we're going to go into where the water is, and we need to get to the fourth one of those across. So then we'll come back there and we'll thread it through. Now it doesn't need to go that deep really. It's going to be quite hard digging on the drive because it's all compacted hardcore. But if you can see where it is on the drive, no car's ever going to drive on it. It's only going to be pedestrian traffic till it gets to here. Then it will need to go a bit deeper because there will occasionally be vehicles driving up here. So yeah, we're going to use a pickhead, and we're going to go as wide as a pickhead. That's all we're going to do here. We'll see how that goes. So there we are then. We achieved what we needed to achieve today, as well as the extras like hitting the water pipe. But these things are sent to trice. So electric cable is now in from there, it's all the way around there, and that's running into the building up there. That needs securing on there. That's something can be done as and when. And that drainage is in. There's still more drainage to be done, but that's the most important one. So that's done, that's in. And if you can see that I've just left all the everything proud, all the turf, when I put it back on, it's all just a little bit proud, because that will settle down in time. That will settle down and that'll go flat. Not that I'm that bothered, because it didn't have to be that pretty, because don't forget this area here leading up to there and a pathway around the outside is going to be gravelled. But you know, it's in for what it needs to be for now. That's it for this episode. Thanks very much for staying tuned. Hope you got something out of that. That is the utilities in now. I'm obviously going to revert now and get that wrap in and all the battening finished, and we'll get that video finished before we move on to the next one, which will probably be fitting the doors and the windows. So stay tuned if you've got an interest in that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.